Charlie, Charlie, it started as a joke, just another viral challenge. Another piece of internet nonsense that people did for views. But if I've learned anything since that night, it's this. Not every game is meant to be played. My name is Rayan, and this story isn't one I tell for entertainment. I tell it as a warning. It began on a humid Friday evening at our university dorms. Exams were over, and everyone was either drunk, bored, or both. The air smelled like instant noodles and cheap deodorant. My friends, Hassan, Talia, and Amini too, were gathered in Hassan's room, scrolling through TikTok challenges. That's when we saw it. A video of two pencils forming a cross over a sheet of paper. The words yes and no written in bold squares. A girl whispered, "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" The pencils spun, and the screen cut to static. We laughed. People actually believe this crap? Mina scoffed. "It's fake," Hassan said. "Some air conditioner or string trick," Talia smiled, brushing her long dark hair aside. "Then let's try it." I should have said no, but boredom is dangerous. It makes you do stupid things. We set it up on Hassan's study desk. Two pencils, a sheet of notebook paper. We turned off the fan, no breeze, no strings, just the four of us, and the suffocating quiet of curiosity. Talia lit a single candle. Its flame flickered oddly, though there was no wind. We took turns holding our breath as she whispered, "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" Nothing. We waited. I remember the clock ticking behind us. 1 second. 2, 3, and then the top pencil moved. It rotated, slow but deliberate, until it pointed toward. "Yes." "Who did that?" Hassan said, laughing nervously. "Nobody," Mina whispered. The candle flame stretched tall, like it was being pulled upward. The room's temperature dropped. I could feel goosebumps crawl up my arms. Talia leaned in. "Charlie, Charlie, will you hurt us?" The pencil didn't move, but the door behind us creaked open, even though I'd locked it earlier. Mina screamed. Hassan jumped up, flicked on the light, and the paper was blank. No yes, no no, no words at all. Just an empty white sheet. "What the hell?" he muttered. I swear I had written the words myself. I remembered it, but they were gone. We all decided it was enough. We laughed it off, shoved the pencils aside, and went downstairs to the cafeteria. But I couldn't stop thinking about the candle, about how its flame bent like something invisible had passed behind it. That night, I dreamt of a whisper, a voice that sounded like two people speaking in sync. It said, "You called me. You can't leave now." When I woke up, my pencil jar had fallen on the floor, every single one pointed at my bed. The next evening, we gathered again, this time not to play, but to understand. Hassan was skeptical. He said maybe Mina messed with the pencils using magnets, so he demanded we film it. We placed the phone on a shelf, angled toward the desk. Talia drew a new paper, neat lines, perfect cross. She said the words again. "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" Nothing moved. Then Hassan chuckled. "See? Nothing. It's fake." But before he could finish, the phone buzzed. It started recording on its own. The screen flashed white, and we heard breathing. Deep, raspy, unnatural. Not from us. "From the phone, stop it," Mina shouted, snatching it up. But when she looked, her face went pale. The video showed us at the table. But there was a fifth person standing behind us, a tall figure with a blurred face. And then the pencil turned again. Slowly, smoothly, to yes. That was when the candle blew out. We sat in silence for a long time. Nobody said a word. Later that night, I replayed the footage alone. But in my copy, the figure was closer. Its face wasn't blurry anymore. It was painted white with black smudged eyes and a red slit of a smile carved too wide, and its head tilted toward me. I deleted the video immediately, or at least I thought I did, because every night after that, my phone would buzz at 3 a.m. with a new file in my gallery. Same name, same thumbnail. Charlie, yes. MP4. 3 days passed. Mina stopped coming to class. Talia said she hadn't answered any calls. We went to her dorm. The door was unlocked. Inside, every surface was covered in paper. Notebook pages, sticky notes, even her mirror. And on each one was written the same word, scrawled in different sizes and shades of pencil. Yes, 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 yes. I found her phone under the bed. The wallpaper was a picture of us, but someone had drawn over my face. 2 black X's for eyes, and beneath it, in faint writing, "Charlie says you're next." That night, I couldn't sleep. At 3 a.m. sharp, the lights flickered. My laptop screen turned on by itself, showing a blank document. And letters began typing, slow, mechanical, like invisible fingers were pressing the keys. Play again. The blinking cursor on the screen felt alive. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Play again. I slammed the laptop shut. The sound echoed in my room like a gunshot. When I looked around, every pencil I owned, the ones from my desk, my drawer, even my backpack, were standing upright, perfectly balanced. My throat went dry. I whispered to myself, "It's not real." But a voice answered, "Then why are you afraid?" The whisper wasn't from my head. It came from behind me. I turned slowly. No one was there. Only my reflection in the mirror above the study table. Except, my reflection wasn't copying me. It was smiling. The next morning I met Talia in the campus courtyard. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Pale skin, trembling hands clutching a notebook. "He won't stop talking," she said. "Who?" "Charlie." She opened the notebook. Every page was covered in scribbles. Sentences written and scratched out. Words looped over each other until they became meaningless. But one line repeated over and over. "The pencil points to yes. The soul belongs to him." I felt my stomach twist. Mina wrote yes too. I murmured. Talia nodded. And now I hear him in my head. Every time I look at a pencil, it moves, even if I don't ask. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "He says he's not a ghost. He's a decision." That night, I sat in my dorm trying not to think about it. But curiosity is poison. I opened the laptop again. The document was still there. Same words. Play again. I typed back, "No." The cursor froze. Then the words deleted themselves, letter by letter, and new ones appeared. "Charlie, Charlie, are you there?" I didn't touch the keyboard. It typed on its own. "Charlie, Charlie, will you come back?" "Charlie, Charlie, I want to play." The air in my room grew heavy. The candle on my desk flickered to life by itself, and my laptop camera light turned on. I saw my reflection in the screen, except my mouth wasn't closed. It was grinning. A distorted voice came through the speakers, like 1,000 whispers overlapping. Yes. The next morning, campus security found Hassan outside the dorms. He'd been missing since midnight. He was standing perfectly still, facing a wall, muttering something over and over. They said he was holding a pencil in each hand, and both pencils pointed straight upward, trembling like they were alive. When they tried to take them, he screamed so loud that his voice cracked, and then he fainted. I went to see him in the hospital. He didn't recognize me. His eyes were unfocused, staring at the ceiling, whispering one phrase again and again. "He's not done." Later that night, I found a new note slid under my door. No handwriting I recognized. It said, "You stopped before the last question." I wanted to burn it, tear it apart, but the curiosity, the same thing that started this, won again. I set up the pencils once more. My hands shook so much it was hard to balance them. The flame danced nervously on the candle. "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" I whispered. The top pencil spun violently, almost jumping off the paper, and pointed to yes. The room felt alive again. The air vibrated with invisible energy. I swallowed hard. "What do you want?" The pencil jerked toward the edge of the paper, scratching out letters. It wrote, "The final question." "What question?" The candle's flame twisted sideways, like it was looking at me, and then both pencils rolled off the paper, landing on the floor in a perfect cross. On the wall behind me, the candlelight flickered and formed a faint shadow. A tall, thin silhouette with an elongated smile, its head tilted, the same way I'd seen in the cursed video. My phone buzzed, a message from Talia. No words, just a video attachment named Charlie Final. MP4. I pressed play. The video showed her sitting on her bedroom floor, candles all around. She was crying, repeating, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Then she looked up at the camera and whispered. He asked the last question. The screen glitched, and for a split second, I saw something move behind her. A pale, faceless figure crawling on all fours, fast and twitching. The camera fell, and the last thing the video captured was the sound of Talia's voice, distorted, doubled, echoing from every direction. "Your turn." That night, I locked every door, covered every mirror, and threw away every pencil. But when I woke up, there was a single one lying on my chest. Carved into it, tiny, uneven letters, was a question. "Will you say yes?" I stared at the pencil lying on my chest. The words carved into it, "Will you say yes?" looked fresh, as if someone had just written them moments ago. But I had locked my room. No one could have come in. Or maybe. Charlie didn't need doors. I threw the pencil across the room, but it didn't hit the floor. It stopped mid-air, hanging like it was caught on invisible strings. Then, slowly, it began to turn, pointing directly at me. The air in the room thickened. The candle I had left unlit flared on its own, its flame stretching tall and thin like a burning thread. The smell of burning wax mixed with something else, old paper and faintly blood. A whisper filled the silence. "Say yes, Rayan." I turned toward my laptop. It was open. The same blank document had reappeared, but this time new words were being typed. The final question must be answered. I tried to shut it. It didn't move. The keys kept clicking by themselves. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. I ripped the charger out. The screen stayed on. The reflection staring back at me from the black background was smiling again, only it wasn't my smile. The corners of my mouth twitched upward without my control. I slammed my fists against the desk. "Enough! What do you want from me?" I shouted. The whisper behind me grew louder, layered with laughter, like children giggling inside a tunnel. And then, from the shadowed corner of the room, I saw it. A pair of hands, thin, gray, with long, ink-black nails, gripping the wall like a spider. And then a face leaned out, a chalk-white face with hollow eyes and a red, painted mouth that stretched ear to ear. The clownish face of a trickster, but not human. "You called me, Rayan," it said, in a voice that sounded like two people speaking together. "And every caller must answer." I backed away until I hit the wall. What answer? It tilted its head, smiling wider. "You already know the question." I remembered the words carved into the pencil. "Will you say yes?" My mouth went dry. If I say yes, what happens? The lights flickered. The shadow stepped closer. Its feet didn't touch the ground. "Then you stop running. Then you join us." The voice came from everywhere. My laptop, my phone, the vent, the candle's flame, everywhere. I grabbed my phone and dialed Talia's number. It rang once, then static. A distorted voice answered. "Talia's gone." She said yes. The room tilted. My heart pounded. I dropped the phone. It landed face up. The camera turned on, and on the screen, I saw myself. Except behind me, the figure was standing now, tall, grinning, its hands resting gently on my shoulders. I ran, out of the dorm, down the hallway, through the courtyard. The night was silent, too silent. No wind, no voices, not even crickets. Every streetlight flickered as I passed. Every shadow seemed to twitch when I wasn't looking directly at it. When I reached the library doors, I saw a faint light flickering inside. I hesitated, then went in. The smell of dust and damp paper hit me immediately. And there, on one of the tables, lay a single open notebook. It looked old, burned at the edges. Across the yellowed pages were hundreds of names, written in pencil. Some were smudged, some were crossed out. And at the bottom of the newest page, a single empty line waited. My hand began to tremble uncontrollably. The pencil rolled from somewhere unseen and stopped at my feet. It was the same one from my room. "Sign your name," the whisper urged. "You've already played." I shook my head. No. The books around me fell from the shelves at once, thousands of pages fluttering, filling the air with a storm of words and whispers. Every voice said the same thing. "Say yes. Say yes. Say yes." The pencil lifted into the air, hovering inches from my hand. And then, something else. A vision flashed in my mind. Talia's face, Mina's eyes, Hassan's trembling lips, each of them whispering in unison. "It doesn't end when you refuse." I dropped to my knees, covering my ears. "Please, what do you want?" And from the shadows, the figure stepped closer, crouched beside me, and whispered against my ear, "I want a storyteller." Before I could scream, the pencil pressed against my hand and forced it to move. I felt my muscles spasm, as if controlled by invisible threads. Letter by letter, it wrote my name. Rayan, N-Teen, in the book. The candlelight in the library flared, then went out completely. And everything was silent again. When I woke up, I was in my dorm. Morning sunlight poured through the blinds. Everything looked normal. For a second, I thought it had been a nightmare, until I saw my laptop. A document was open. At the top, the title read, "The Charlie Story" by Rayan. And beneath it, word for word, was everything that had happened, even this part. I scrolled to the end, my fingers trembling. There was one last line, written in bold letters I hadn't typed. "Do you want to play again?" And before I could close it, two new words appeared, typed by themselves. "Yes." "No." The cursor blinked, waiting. I tried to move the mouse, but it didn't work. The cursor slid on its own, inching toward "Yes." And then, from my laptop speakers, that same whisper came again. Low, amused. "Everyone says yes eventually." The screen flickered black. The power died, and faintly just before the light faded, I saw my reflection grin one last time.